Giris?
Giris?
Giris? How do you say? Giris? Okay.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Oh, okay, so we're now walking through the ruins of Hierapolis. So I suppose this must have been the main entrance or the main road that led into the city. There's like a gate here and then some old ruins along the sides. Imagine, 1,000 years ago, an ancient person would have walked these very steps that we're walking now to get to the city. There's a tomb from the 2nd and 3rd century AD. And this door, if you look closely, has carvings on it. That's quite interesting. I love this. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like a giant throne. Like I can. So welcome to the northern Acropolis, as you can see behind me. It's another example of one of the many tombs that line this main thoroughfare. Hierapolis was founded as a thermal spa in the early 2nd century BC, and quickly thereafter became famous as a place to go for the sick and the weary to be healed by the magical waters here. And eventually it became this sprawling city that... So they always say to stand in doorways during an earthquake, and this is probably a great example why. Doorways are usually the most structurally sound area of any building or house, and Hierapolis was actually largely destroyed by an earthquake, and yet 1,000 years or more later this door still remains. The city has been here since the 2nd century BC, and you can still see the inscription written here. How amazing is that? I saw these round things from the road. I have no idea what they are. What is it? They're like these round, maybe it's a tomb? Let's find out. So the round slabs are called a tumulus, and they consist of sort of this drum that supports the earth core, and it's a funerary chamber. The entrance is then closed off with a stone slab, which maybe you can see inside, to protect, the person that was buried there. That's it of the main thoroughfare. Now we're heading into the next part of Hierapolis. Welcome to the Basilica Bath. This complex was located on the north side of the city, outside the city gates. So fun fact, in ancient times, purification before entering the city was a common tradition, or people would not be allowed inside the city. Therefore, bath buildings were generally located at the outskirts of the city. So this is the northern Roman gate. How incredible is that? Let's go check it out. We're gonna go under the arch now. Follow me. And here we are. Can you imagine? In ancient times, hundreds of people, maybe thousands every day, walked through those very arches. Above, you can still see an inscription written. Not that I can read it. So this building is the latrine, which basically is pretty self-explanatory. Look at the balloons passing overhead. If you've ever thought about doing balloons in Turkey, think about doing them in Pamukkale. The balloons go right over the famous travertines and Hierapolis. So we're now walking along the main thoroughfare. The drains run along this road, and you can actually kind of see down there in that hole, and like this hole, that indeed this is where the drains to the city were. So I'm walking along this footbridge now. I suppose in ancient times it was possibly a moat of some sort, or possibly even a wall, but now you can actually walk through it. So I'm on my way to the theater.
I was up in the theater and I got to watch the hot air balloons take off, and they came up right behind kind of the theater, and they were super close. Then they all kind of came up over the theater. It was really pretty and kind of unexpected, so I just happened to be at the perfect place at the perfect time by accident.